On console, it's not the wheel's power that matters most. It's compatibility, the pedals, and having a support that doesn't move. If you want to avoid firmware headaches and desks that vibrate, here are the PS5 and Xbox bundles that genuinely work today and will still make sense 1 to 2 years from now. Let's set the basics for 2 minutes because that's what prevents most mistakes. On console, the golden rule is compatibility. PlayStation and Xbox don't accept everything, so in practice you stay within known ecosystems, and each brand has its own chip and wheel compatibility rules. On PlayStation, the base must be PlayStation license. On Xbox, the license is often inside the wheel depending on the brand. Always check the version you're buying and what it's compatible with. And above all, do the firmware update on a Windows PC before plugging into the console. Even an old laptop works. One USB port, the manufacturer's drivers, and you just follow the setup wizard. Without that, you might think the wheel is defective when it's simply waiting for an update. Also think about your space. If you're playing on an IKEA desk, too much torque will turn the table into a trampoline. If you have a small cockpit, it's better, but even then, a conservative setting sometimes gives better lap times. And of course, your game style matters. Forza Motorsport or Horizon, GT7's Cafe, WRC Fun. That's not the same expectation as serious ACC sessions or an F1 championship. If you're starting out, remember that the real immersion jump comes as much from the pedals and stability of your support as from the base's power. Before buying, do 3 simple checks: console compatibility, firmware update on a Windows PC before the console, and the support you're using, light desk, small cockpit, or solid cockpit. Quick side note, the links to the products I mentioned are in the description. They're affiliate links. I earn a small commission at no extra cost to you, and I update them regularly. If you want something simple, reliable, and plug and play for a desk, the most logical choice is an entry-level bundle from Thrustmaster or Logitech. The T128 does exactly what you expect from a first console wheel. It installs quickly, locks well with the clamp, doesn't twist your wrists, and already gives you some texture on curves and clean feedback in Forza, depending on the title, GT7, or even trucking games if you want to chill. I like the paddle feel and how the central hub is designed around essential functions. You don't get lost in menus. In real life, it's the kind of pack I recommend to a friend who wants to try for real without buying a cockpit. On the other hand, the classic Logitech G29/G920 is always a good option when it's discounted. It's solid, extremely widespread, and easy to resell if you enjoy it and want to upgrade. The sensations are a bit different, a bit more mechanical. But for a clean start, it covers the basics. I retested it recently on GT7, and as long as you're not after absolute realism, it's fun, effective, and hassle-free. In short, light desk plus discovery, T128, desk plus good promo and easy resale, G29/G920. In both cases, if you're mainly here for fun, a bit of sim, a bit of arcade, and your rig is a desk, you'll have a good time without complications. If you want to step up while staying in a ready-to-play package, Thrustmaster has a good middle ground with the T248. I often recommend it to people who want something a bit more substantial than entry-level. More solid pedals, a base with more nuance, and a wheel designed for console with display support, depending on the game, and everything you need at your fingertips. The advantage is you plug in, adjust a few settings, and you're good. The small drawback is the fixed wheel. You can't swap rims like in a modular ecosystem, but for someone who switches between GT7, F1, and WRC without hardcore intentions, it does the job with a welcome extra bit of immersion. I've done a lot of couch plus desk endurance sessions with it to test, and I always come back to the same conclusion. It's near the upper limit of what a desk can reasonably handle before you should consider a cockpit. If you're tightening the clamp every 20 minutes or the disc vibrates more than the curbs, that's your sign it's cockpit time. Now here's the part that changes everything on console: direct drive. From my experience, the most coherent entry point is Fanatec. For Xbox, their small DD base paired with an Xbox compatible wheel is the logical choice for PlayStation. The dedicated GT version is the established reference, and it's often the best compromise for console players who want clean, scalable feedback. Why? Because the torque is manageable, usable even on a small rig, but above all because the feedback becomes precise, readable, with details that actually help you drive better. It's not just stronger, it's more nuanced. In GT7, I feel the front end letting go sooner. the microsurface changes and transitions on curves. In Forza, Motorsport, or Horizon, the rear axle finally talks instead of shouting. And the Fanatec ecosystem makes a huge difference. You can start basic and upgrade over time. A GT rim today, an F1 rim tomorrow, a rally wheel next month, and pedals that move to a load cell when you're ready. That's exactly what I recommend to people who tell me, I'm on PS5 or Xbox today, but maybe I'll move to PC later. You don't throw anything away. You upgrade. And if you start with the base version, you can boost it later without replacing everything. I've helped plenty of subscribers switch to this setup, and to me, it's the sweet spot on console. If you want a more all-in-one pack and zero tinkering, the Logitech RS50 is worth considering. Logitech is clearly the most plug-and-play brand. The app is clean, the presets are well designed, and the whole experience is built for people who want something that just works. I recommend it to anyone who wants zero friction, quick setup, and strong customer support. You lose some modularity compared to Fanatec's ecosystem, but if you know you'll stay on console and don't plan to collect rims, it's extremely comfortable. I've used it for weeks on PS5 and appreciate how consistent the feel is from one game to another and how everything is designed coherently. To put it simply, Logitech wins on the app and daily plug and play. Fanatec wins on ecosystem and long-term upgrade paths if you plan to move to PC later. And if you want the ultimate gift, there's a level above on console. And for me, it's still Fanatec. Their Club Sport DD Plus for PlayStation paired with a high-end GT wheel and load cell pedals with vibration depending on the game and connection is extremely refined on a solid cockpit. It's another world in terms of finish, available torque, and stability. On console, let's be honest, some games limit the potential due to telemetry constraints, but the control and stability are excellent. I don't recommend it for a couch plus desk because you'll just overpower your furniture. But on a real cockpit, it's the kind of setup you keep for years, and it will still make sense long term. After comparing everything, what truly changes the game is moving to direct drive for finesse, getting load cell pedals for consistency, and using a stable support. What changes very little is adding brute force without proper tuning. The classic mistake is cranking FFB too high. It exhausts you and hides the details. And one last thing, the ecosystem matters. Being able to swap rims, upgrade pedals, and eventually move to PC without selling everything is incredibly valuable. My simple verdict, on a desk and for discovering sim racing, go for a Thrustmaster T128 or an older gen Logitech on sale. If your desk is sturdier and you want a plug-and-play step up, look at the Thrustmaster T248. With a small cockpit and the desire to take a real step forward on PS5 or Xbox, Fanatec's console-ready direct drive, Xbox version or GT version for PlayStation. With pedals you can upgrade to a load cell remains, in my opinion, the best balance of feel and evolution on console. And on a serious cockpit for the ultimate gift, Fanatec's Club Sport on console makes a lot of sense, while keeping the door wide open for PC later. For reference, the affiliate links are in the description, always updated whenever a promo drops. If this helped you, subscribe and tell me in the comments what you're using on console. It helped me plan the next tests.